Go. All right, so Strive beta is over. It ended, 2 days ago. I took a day off yesterday. Gave everyone like a day to get over it and think about how they felt about it. And so today we're going to go over the feedback form. We're going to fill it in together, but we'll do that after. Before that, I want to do something else. So I spent some time today and I just went on Twitter and I just went down the rabbit hole of Japanese Guilty Gear player Twitter accounts, and I just screen cap what they were saying about Strive. So there's good, there's bad. I didn't edit anything out, right? I'm going to click them randomly. Some of them didn't really say anything. So anyway, let's go. Real quick. Omido, this is like the main thing he said was, right? He just said the things that I'm concerned about and the things that I think about the game, I'm just going to gather together in my head, and I'm going to make sure I fill out the feedback form. Winky face. Take that how you will. Woshige, nothing to say about Strive because this is congratulations. Woshige had a baby, right? Woshige just had a baby, so congratulations to him. Everyone is thanking him or congratulating him there. Rue, this is Rue Bridget right here, but Rue retweeted things, right? So he retweeted this one tweet up here from Sonson. Sonson says, everybody who played the beta test, make sure you give out your opinions. Make sure that you tell them the good things, right? Tell them all the good things so that they know what to leave in the final product. And then he also retweeted Samito Chip. So Samito says, wow, on stream I played against Rue and it was really, really fun. And then he's talking about May stuff. And then he also said, wow, these combos are really difficult right now. He's like, I can't wait until the next time I can play so we can see what happens. Rue, nothing important to say. Like I said, I just took everyone's good or bad or random. I just did everything. No filtering. No selected content. This is Rookie, the Dizzy player. He said, I touched the new Guilty Gear. I played the new Guilty Gear just for a little bit. He's like, the graphics and the music is incredible. And he's crying there. But here's another Rookie. So Rookie's comment was positive, but his retweets were negative. Look at all these. He did a bunch of negative retweets. So at the bottom, he says he fought against Kiyo-san. I think that's Rue. He's like, I fought against Kiyo-san, and it was very, very fun. LOL. But these retweets he did are all negative. So this one from Nanahashi is that one that Obama tweeted out. You probably already saw it on Twitter, but it translates to whoever designed the Guilty Gear Strive lobby and whoever designed Lo Wayne's Yggdrasil Super probably at one point in their life wanted to work for Nintendo and make games, but they didn't get hired. So instead, they got hired at Arc System Works, right? And now they're trying to make games. But he says, it's not too late. Please go back and chase your dreams, right? And also, please never develop a fighting game ever again. So that guy's angry. Shuto, who's a very good Axel player, and he plays a lot of other games. He says, my impressions of Strive right now is that it feels like Guilty Gear. It feels like a Guilty Gear where all the Gatlings were heavily reduced, and it's boring right now. So Shudo is not happy. And then Consomme is the Potemkin player. He's like, he's also really good, along with FAB. But Consomme says, he's like, so to all the people, that think, or to all the people that are saying, right now the developers are just making the game to show everybody, and they're going to fix it after. He's like, that train of thought is stupid, and it doesn't do anything. He's like, you need to, and if you don't say anything now, we could have a tragedy on our hands. So right now, you have to give your feedback, and you have to say, what you think about Strive. So Rookie, of course, saying he's having fun, right? He's like, I had fun. The game's beautiful, but his retweets show that he wants everyone to give their opinion there. Samito Chip. Samito says, thank you for watching the stream. He's like, wow, everyone came to watch. I'm very happy. He's like, I think I figured out, like, Chip. So he's thinking, I just have to work on my Okizeme and how to fight people and everything. But he put out a Chip guide because he got to touch the game early. But then he was playing May on stream. But then the sad things about the lobby, he says right here, I played the Strive lobby a little bit, but I can't stream this, right? We keep like crashing and everything. He's like, I'm so sad. And he's like, man, I can't really fight the lobby and I can't fight the computer. He's like, I guess I'm just going to make a guide. So he got locked out. He couldn't play. Teresa, everyone's favorite player here, right? He says the Guilty Gear lobby is just trash and everything. There's nothing to be saved from the lobby. It's just pure trash. Whoever thought of this is insane. He lost his mind. It's incredibly hard just to get a match And, you know, it's so stressful there. And then when you get disconnected, you get locked out. And he's like, and it's also ugly and it's difficult. So he only talked about the lobby. He didn't talk about the game, though. But, I mean, everyone knows the lobby was bad, right? So Ogawa's opinion on the beta test, he's like, the main thing that stood out for the beta test was, you know, the connection and all the network errors. Like, unfortunately, he's like, I feel like the game was still going to have character balance and things like that. He says it's really difficult to anti-air in the game. He's like, I think they need to fix that. They got to make it so you can stop air dashing with anti-airs. He's like, it's too fast. Air dashes are too fast. And then, like, you just do dust or whatever. But he's like, it also feels like a brand new game. You know, it has that feeling of a new game. I need to figure out how to deal with all these new moves and everything. And also, like, delayed mashing. He's talking about all that stuff. But then up here, he says, you know what? Even though it was a beta, it feels like that it's almost the release version right now. So he's like, I want Arxis, please hurry up and, like, do your best, right? Do your best. He's like, I know how much effort you guys put into your new games. And then his tier list at the top is like Soul May are strong here. Sato, who's next? 310. Sato's up, who's also called here. So he's talking about his feedback form that he wrote. Look, he wrote like myfeelings.txt. He was like 2,314 letters. So in Japanese, that's way long. So in Japanese, one letter is so much more than in English. So then he's like, actually, I added to it. Now it's 2,690 characters. So not letters, characters, right? So you can say so much in Japanese and way less characters, which means this guy wrote like a novel on them. And then he's like, and I filled out the feedback form. So he's showing number 8, which is, how did you feel? How easy was it to look at the game screen? So for the game screen, everything he put, it was difficult to see, difficult to see, difficult to see, difficult to see. So he didn't like the game screen. But again, nothing about the gameplay. The gameplay is all, I guess, secret. It's down here. He didn't say anything publicly about gameplay. But I'm sure, you know, he's got some complaints. As in, it's why he wrote all those messages here. Here's Jonio. You know, everyone loves Jonio. He's like, the lobby, you know, he's like, the lobby has this weird, like, pixel art style. And he's like, I wish they would just make it. Well, he's saying, he's like, if you're going to keep the pixel art style, at least make it match the Guilty Gear universe. He's like, about the gameplay itself, though, he's like, I'm just going to keep filling out the feedback form, and I'm very excited to see. I'm just waiting, and I'm very excited to see what Arc is able to put out after looking at all the feedback. This is Big Boy, you know, Ian the Big Boy. He's like, well, I finished sending out the feedback form. He's like, nothing has changed. He's like, my opinion of the game hasn't changed since I touched it for the first time. He's like, I think it's still very, very fun as a fighting game. He's like, now the balance and the character, like, the character specs now. He's like, I'm sure that they're going to work on it from here on out. He's like, and then the last line is like, don't forget, the first version of Xrd, Sign, was also a incredible game, LOL. He's talking about how bad it was. So if you don't know, if you weren't around, Sign was very, very bad when it first came out. There's a lot of really, really bad mechanics that they fixed and turned into a good game. There's Omito down there. Says, Master. And then Ian says, hey, hurry up and fill out the feedback form, you too. Here's Chapu Chip, right? He retweeted the Guilty Gear chip combos. And he's like, he's like, man, those combos are so cool. He's like, this is definitely Guilty Gear. He's like, this is Guilty Gear. This is Rion, Kai player, who plays a lot of other games as well now. But he says, this screen, he's like, man, there's so much going on the screen that it's hard to see air dashes. It's hard to see things like air dashes. He's like, I wonder if this is something that I'll get used to in the future. But he's not happy with the screen, as you see right here. Oh, this is E.T. E.T.'s going ham. E.T. going ham. So at the bottom it says, Chip's Beta Blade. It reminds me of Sagat's Super Turbo Uppercut. I'm going to skip the second. We'll go up here. So he says, Chip's Beta Blade reminds me of Sagat's Uppercut. Up here it says, the Guilty Gear Strive wall combos. He's like, that's all I did in this game. He's like, next time I'm going to aim to try and do a 40-hit wall combo. Up here it says, wow, Guilty Gear Strive had a button dash. I didn't know that. But this one right here. So it says, I was filling out the feedback form, and there was a question that said, what did you like about Strive? He's like, it took me like almost an hour to think about that answer. Oof. All right, so E.T., not happy. Nage right here. He's just Nage. So down here, he's talking about his feedback on Faust. Right? He's like, wow, it looks like Faust can do it in this game. He's like, but I feel like there's a lot of, it's kind of difficult to do everything I want to do. He's like, so, I have to kind of, figure out my game plan and then go from there. But then up here, he says, I'm looking forward. I'm excited to see what they're going to change from here on now. Everything that I was worried about, I made sure I filled it out in the feedback form. And he's like, I also think it's really interesting what they did to the bomb. In the bomb now you can hit it. Both players can hit it, so he likes that change there. He's talking about how you can do like 2H and 2D to kind of bait, like put the bomb near your opponent, bait them into hitting and then punishing them. So he seems a bit positive. FAB didn't write his opinions. He just showed this weird thing I wanted to point out there. So if you notice here, Chip is going under Faust's 5K, but Potemkin's getting hit by that. So he's like, oh no. He's like, they put back in like the different heights on crouching. He's like, it can't be. I thought they got rid of this in Rev 2. He's like, I'm glad I found this in the beta test. So he wrote that in the feedback form. But yeah, he didn't really have anything positive or negative to say about the game on Twitter. Here's Shuto. Shuto's really, really angry. I already read this one, but here's his tweet directly, right? He said, he's like, my opinions right now feels like they took all of the Gatlings out of Guilty Gear, so it's boring right now. Consume is saying, we read his earlier, but again, he said, right now, do not wait. Like, now is the time to voice your opinions about the game, right? If you have complaints, now's your time to let them know. Don't wait. Like, don't just trust them to fix everything, right? Kodaku just telling everybody, right? Everyone, you can fill out the feedback form until the 24th. For now, just take, memorize everything in your head and make sure you write it down and then, like, send it in. And it's like, I hope I can make everything in there within the character limit. So I guess he's trying to sneak in and say he's got a lot of opinions about what to say. Kazunoko was the last one. What's that? I don't even know. But Kazunoko, Guilty Gear Strive says, Kai was way too interesting. He's like, man, it's really easy to understand. You just get plus frames off his forward K. He's like, now that you understand what all the plus frames are, playing on offense is really easy and fun. Can someone please tell me how to get the plus frames on Soul? But yeah, that's it. So I looked on Twitter for basically everybody, and then I just went down the rabbit hole of like recommended users, just all the Guilty Gear players I could think of, and then whatever link they had, and I just searched through their Twitter history on what they said about Strive. So there you go. I remember when the game initially came out. I said the same thing. I was like, the reaction's been very positive. No one believed me. Obama was like, no bullshit. There it is. I just screen capped everything. I don't know how many people that was. I looked at some other people too, some other big names, and they either didn't say anything about it or they didn't play it, so I didn't put anything up there. But yeah, as you see, the general consensus from this, a lot of people are like, send in your feedback, right? So, didn't see anything specific. I guess Shuto was the only one who kind of came out and said, like, this game feels boring because of the Gatlings. But no one else had anything specific. It was usually, like, slight praise, and then the rest is feedback. We'll send out the feedback. Right? So, Japan is not a country that will complain as openly in public most of the time. Some people do. But, so obviously, no one, like, they're not happy with the game. They're not like, this game is perfect now. Everyone's got things they want to see changed, but they still have faith in Ark. There's nothing like, the game's dead, it's over. It's like, send in feedback, let's do something, So there you go. You can take it how it is. I'm not giving you any of my opinion. I'll give you my opinion in the next part when we fill out the feedback form. That's just what Japan on Twitter is saying now. You can take it how you want, do whatever you want, but there it is. That's the post Guilty Gear Strive Japanese Twitter landscape there.